Okay, so I want to talk about this. So my main YouTube channel used to be a medical news channel. And during the pandemic, we went viral for some of the content that we were covering, some of the treatment options out there. And then the censorship Nazis came and made it illegal, essentially, to talk about most things, including potential issues with things that cannot be named. And the left now is big mad and big scared because Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is going to revive the Childhood Vaccine Safety Panel. They are worried that because RFK Jr. isn't a slavish retard that licks the shaft of the healthcare community, that he might find some problems with vaccines, which, don't you know, are perfect. Could never be wrong. Could never have a problem. The pinnacle of science. This is from the left-wing news article or news outlet Axios. They write, the Health and Human Services Department said Thursday that it is reviving a federal task force created to improve the safety of childhood vaccines, saying it is needed to reaffirm its commitment to vaccine oversight, which is about damn time. For reasons I can't get into, it is very important that this happens. Why it matters, Axios writes. The move could be a prelude to changes to the federal childhood vaccination schedule and comes just months after the anti-vaccine group Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. backed a lawsuit against him that sought to reestablish the task force. Steps like reviving the panel are critical in light of this jump in the number of CDC-recommended childhood vaccines, the lawsuit said. Driving the news. Axios wants you to know what's driving the news. The task force will be chaired by the NIH director, Jay Bhattacharya, or whatever, and will make recommendations on the development of childhood vaccines that result in fewer and less serious adverse reactions than those vaccines currently on the market. It will also weigh in on improvements in vaccine development, production, distribution, and the reporting of adverse reactions. Because make no mistake, my friends, we have been living in an era where you cannot talk about these things without being severely censored online. There are lawsuits going on right now against the Orwellian censorship, both in the media, social media platforms, and government. But again, I'm not going to get into that here. Anyway, you will also weigh in on improvements in vaccine development, production, Okay. The task force members will include senior leadership from the NIH, the FDA, and the CDC. And keep in mind, these are the new sheriffs in town. A lot of the old leadership, from my understanding, have been booted. Now, between the lines, meaning there's something happening between the lines, my friends. It is the latest move by the agency under Kennedy to upend policies on vaccines for children, which seems like you should probably do so when you have an epidemic of childhood illnesses, autoimmune diseases, and so much more that seem to have been growing in leaps and bounds since the 1980s. So why wouldn't you want to take another look at this? But of course, they're implying something sinister here. Kennedy in May cut back access on COVID shots. Oh no, for healthy kids. He also straddled the line between recommending vaccinations and endorsing ineffective treatments during the Texas measles outbreak. What they are saying, Axios says. RFK Jr. will use this task force to legitimize, these are his critics, his false claims about vaccine safety, which will then be used to manipulate the vaccine injury compensation program, said Paul Offit, director of the Vaccine Education Center at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. He will do nothing to make vaccines safer, but that's not really his goal, he whined. His goal is to lessen their use. Oh no! This is a response to a performative lawsuit that was filed to give RFK Jr. another mechanism to put kids at risk of preventable diseases. Right, so RFK hates kids. This is according to Angela Rasmussen, a virologist at the Vaccine and Infectious Disease Organization at the University of Saskatchewan, whatever, told Axios. These people want you to believe that RFK, wants to be rid of vaccines because he wants children to die. Now, his stances may come as problematic to some in the medical community, but the man is hell-bent to restore health and wellness to the United States. And look at our food industry, which he's working on bringing to heel. We've been getting crushed in comparison to our EU counterparts who have healthier food than we do because of all the government subsidies and crap that's been allowed to be put into our food. I think it is outrageous. There hasn't been a constant, rigid adherence to continually protecting our children, to constantly be reevaluating what drugs are being slammed into our children when they are young and defenseless. Now, maybe they won't find anything. If these drugs are so great, it should be fine, right? Nothing to worry about. But of course, what they are implying is that they're just going to make crap up. Because RFK Jr. just hates vaccines, apparently. That's what they want you to believe. And I'll just leave it at that.